Guys, what's the crack? Crypto with Danny, and it's Danny here. And learning this, what we're chatting about today, will make you very, very wealthy in the future. And it's going to come at a time, unfortunately, when other people are going to struggle financially, more and more and more. We can see people struggling already as we are, but you know, as we go through the 2020s, it's going to get harder for people. And that's why it's up to you, it's up to me, and it's up to us to teach people this stuff and to spread this message. So share this message with your friends, share this video with your family, and get it out there, because it's important that people understand this, because you know the crack, guys. Life's for living. There's more to life than working. Fair enough if you love your job, which I do. I love my job. It's great crack and all. But a lot of people have to give up their life, this unique opportunity to go and do something that they don't like. And it's getting harder and harder and harder for them to keep their head above water, and it's only getting worse in the next decade. I'll just show you why. Guys, remember your daily exercise. I got mine. If you follow me on Instagram, if you're not following me, jump on. I was out in the welly boots in the fields earlier with the dogs. Had a lovely walk. And but your daily exercise, stretch out the index finger, okay? Approach the like button and give it a nice strong press. Shane, what's the crack? Donald, good afternoon. So yesterday we seen the inflation figures in the US, and we go on US data. European Central Bank is worse. They've printed more money than they have in the States, so expect ours to be even worse, guys. But they're 6%. Their expected inflation was 1.4%. So they're orders of magnitude higher than their expected inflation rate. Like, these are the numpties that are like literally going to destroy the middle class. Okay, they're absolutely going to destroy the middle class over the next 10 years. Maybe that's the plan, who knows? But so inflation 6%. Now what this is going to do is, I'll give you an example. Apple sit on 200 billion in cash. Like, Apple are pretty smart. We seen during the week the Apple CEO, I can't remember his name, Tim Cook or something. He's like, yeah, no, I own Bitcoin. Of course he does. And yeah, no, we're exploring cryptocurrency, which means we're actually doing it behind the scenes. We're not ready to do our announcement yet, but of course they are. But Apple sit on 200 billion in cash. Okay, they're one of the large. They have a huge cash position. At 6% inflation, Apple burn 12 million, guys, a year by doing nothing, by just holding all their treasury in cash. Do you think it takes a company a bit of work and energy to create 12 million in profit? Yes, it does. Okay? So inflation has taken 12 million of value out of that company, of energy out of that company, by them doing nothing. Do you think they're not going to buy Bitcoin? Of course they are. It might take them a year, it might take 2 years for them to do it. Or it might take a few months, who knows? But of course they're going to buy Bitcoin. Because why will they hold 200 billion in cash when they're losing 12 million per year at 6%? Now, when we talk about the inflation rates, guys, remember your daily exercise, hit the like. 6% inflation is not true. That's the CPI, they call it, in how they measure it. And it's just a way of doing it to fool retail people like me and you, who are working our jobs and looking after our families, and we don't have time to actually dive in and understand all this stuff. You know, I'm just a pleb. What do I know? I'm just a busy fool. Okay? But I do understand it. But CPI isn't true. If we use the way they used to measure inflation back in the 80s, we're at 15% inflation. But they don't. They don't actually, and any of us can know that. We can feel it. Go and buy petrol today. Did it increase 6%? No. Pay your electricity bill. Did it increase 6%? No. They're going up 100%. Okay, so our inflation is much higher than the numbers they're giving us. Where does this put me as a crypto investor? Over the last year, okay, when you look at all the markets, so as investors understand that if you save money, currency, euros, they go down in value. So you can't do that. So if you want to be wealthy, you have to take your money out of euros and invest it into assets that will beat inflation, and assets maybe that will bring cash flow. And in all the asset classes, okay, the highest performing one over the last 12 years has been crypto. It's the only one that's protected people's purchasing power. Even the S&P 500, that's only up 15% or something, I think. So that's only equal with actual real inflation. So everyone has lost money except those people who actually owned cryptocurrencies over the last 12 months. Will that continue? Of course it'll continue. Crypto is this new asset class, okay? It goes up, it goes down, it's very volatile. So it takes a little bit to get your head around, it takes a bit of training. But of everything that's out there, there's nothing that will give you the protection over this next decade than owning Bitcoin. Okay, and that's what I teach people. That's why I'm passionate. And that's why later on this evening, I have 90 people registered for my free Bitcoin Basics workshop. I do it for free, and I literally teach people, this is what I've done. This is all you need to do. It's very simple. Don't get distracted by the shiny objects. Don't trade. Understand hard sound money, and save some of your wages in it. Simple, but not easy. Most people won't do it. Okay? But I teach them. I teach it for free. What else have I got to say here on this? Guys, remember, hit the like button. I don't want to go on too long, but I just want to give you another example. How are the governments going to solve this problem? Well, you can hear them talking about, they want to tax unrealised gains of billionaires. Like, where do you even start? Bureaucrats do my head in. Because that is the stupidest, dumbest thing I've ever heard. So basically, you want to disincentivize billionaires, who are people who have built massive companies, created thousands of jobs. You want to disincentivize them of actually being good at what they do, and punish them for being good. It's like, have you ever heard something so stupid? It's like, no, if everyone's just crap, that'll be grand. Oh, feck no. Now we have to support them all and give them all free money now. We create a society of, you know, people who have no incentives to actually go and create value in the world. You know, idiocy. But that's what you're dealing with. That's why we own Bitcoin. That's why we don't trust these people, because they're crazy. Okay? And billionaires obviously will be able to hide behind structures and trusts, and they'll be able to get out of that. And they won't have to pay their unrealized gains. And it'll move down. And then it'll eventually just be the plebs to be paying the unrealized gains. Like, it's like, how many hours do you want to work, me to work? But insanity. But that's why these bureaucrats, I don't trust them. That's why we own Bitcoin. Okay? Because they just do crazy stuff sometimes. And that has to be one of the craziest things I've ever heard. Janet Yellen, like, a bureaucrat, they have a pension for life. They don't even have to be good at their job. They're not like a real world entrepreneur. Real world entrepreneur, you create value. And if you're shit, you go out of business. If you're a bureaucrat, you can be shit. You have a job for life and a pension. You know what I mean? You have no incentive to be actually any use at the thing. And we laugh about it and have to crack, like, and I'll rant and rave, but I'm not attacking one particular bureaucrat, okay? I'm not attacking any person. It's a system. So if you're a fucking bureaucrat, don't be whinging. If you're a council worker, don't be crying. I don't care about you. I'm just talking about the whole, it's a systemic problem, okay? That's why a lot of us have transitioned over to this new financial system. And we're being rewarded heavily because a lot of people are following us in, and Apple will follow us in soon. So exciting times ahead for crypto. It will be volatile. It will go up a lot. It will go down a lot. But when you zoom out, when you're an investor and you're able to step back far enough, you'll see that over the last 12 years, Bitcoin's just been going like that with massive ups and downs. But every year, the next low is higher than the previous year's low, if I was explaining that right. Except for 1 year. I think it was 2015. Okay, it made a lower low throughout the year, but every other year over 12 years, the lowest point of the year, the next year, is higher than the previous year. So it's like a no-brainer to have a position in this. And the last thing I'll finish on, because I don't want to go on too long. How do you protect yourself? Okay, and I found this. I'll do a proper video on this again, guys. But let's say if you have 10 grand and you want to protect yourself against inflation for 10 years, because at inflation at the rates we're at now, if we really are at 15% inflation, okay, you lose half your money in 5 years. So all your life savings, half it's gone in 5 years. Like, that's a lot. You know, for the likes of my parents who've worked all their life and built up a little nest egg to try and retire on, and they're going to lose half of that, 50 years of work in 5 years. I don't like that. I don't think that's fair. Okay, but this is what a government will have to do to sort of inflate away their debts. Okay, and even if inflation is only at the 6% we're at now, that means you lose a third of your wealth in 5 years. A third. Like, that is a lot. That's why, if you do nothing, you're dead. It's like fight or flight. You must fight. It's like, I'm afraid to buy Bitcoin. I don't understand it. Okay, well, then you're going to lose everything over the next decade, because we can see what's happening. Learn about it. Use first principles thinking. What's the most important thing I can do right now? Work harder for money. No, learn about Bitcoin. Okay, how do you protect yourself? Use 10 grand, you want to protect yourself. 89 euros worth of Bitcoin today will protect you over 10 years, over a decade. Alright, I'll run the maths here. And someone will probably Google these maths and say, oh, Dinny, you're a euro off there. Lads, this is feckin' Scribble in me diary, all right? You've got 10 grand, you buy 89 quid of Bitcoin, it goes up at 60%. Now, Bitcoin has normally gone up at over 200% a year. 200! So I'm pulling it back. I'm going to say it's not going to perform that well. It's only going to do 60% a year. Year over year. Okay, 89, 142, year 2. 227, year 3. 364, year 4. 583, 937, 1,493, 2,389, 3,822, 6,116, year 10. So your 10 grand, we know the inflation side of it was destroyed and that it lost its purchasing power over the 10 years, and it lost the majority of its purchasing power, okay? But your 89 quid of Bitcoin has accumulated to 6,116 euros, which has counteracted the fact that the currency lost its value because the Bitcoin increased in value. And that's how easy it is to protect yourself. You don't need a huge position, but you do need a small position. Obviously, you can have a bigger position, depending on your risk tolerance and everything else that I teach on my boot camps. Guys, have an awesome day. Learn about Bitcoin. It's probably the best thing that you can do for you and your family. Share the video, hit the like, and expect volatility. Expect Bitcoin to go up, expect Bitcoin to go down. When should you buy it? The time to buy Bitcoin is today. It's always now, because your dollar cost average in. So you'll buy the very tops and you'll buy the very bottoms. And if you wait a little bit, well, the very tops will actually be the bottoms. Because remember, people who bought Bitcoin at the very, very top a couple of years ago, it was 1,000 quid. Imagine being able to buy a Bitcoin for 1,000 quid. At the time, it was the very top. In 2017, the very top was $19,000. Imagine being able to buy a Bitcoin for $19,000. But at the time, people were like, ah, you fool, you bought it. You just wait. Be patient. Bitcoin rewards the patient. It rewards the savers. That's the amazing thing about the technology. Guys, have an awesome day. Thanks for being here. Put a comment in if you enjoy it. And share the content. Remember, Crypto with Dinny. Do I look like a financial advisor? Do they drive cool cars like this? Can I give it a few revs? Don't think I can. No, won't let me. They probably do. Financial advisors would drive much nicer cars than me. That's how they make all their money. But I teach people how to actually get their own money working for themselves. Guys, I'm not a financial advisor. Don't think anything I say is financial advice. Do your own work. Do your own due diligence. But I think focusing in on crypto right now, like, what other hope have you got? If you're in your 30s and you want to buy a house, how does it work? I can't see it working unless you can get into some sort of an asset that's going to perform better than anything else we've ever had. Okay, and you have that opportunity now. It's crypto. Over the next decade, we see this new asset class emerge. This is your chance. Take it. All right, Dinny out.